How's it going, fellow Weekly Weedle readers and viewers? It's your boy Wheelie, and today we have a special Weekly Weedle video for you guys. Today you guys are going to learn some interesting facts about the Weekly Weedle, and for the first time in Weekly Weedle history, you guys are going to learn how the Weekly Weedle handles week to week and how we get the interviews prepared for you guys, either when it comes to live or on the forums, how the books come to you guys hot off the press, and just some knowledge of what goes on in the background, either from how staff works, and I'm not talking about mod, I'm talking about the Weekly Weedle staff, and just general knowledge of what goes on to get the Weekly Weedle done each weekend for you guys. And believe it or not, you guys, it is a hard task, which is why I'm very grateful for the people that work with us, because this is volunteered work. We spend our time to ensure that you guys are having an awesome time. Also, you guys, to keep you interested, because I know some of you, just some of you, go, man, this is boring. I don't want to know. I want an interview. I want live. Well, I got you guys. So, to keep your peak, you guys are going to have to watch the entire video. Now, I know. Oh, wow, that's not fun. Well, you see this guy right here? This is Dancing Weedle. That's right, we got a Dancing Weedle on the episode today, but it's not just for your enjoyment. You see, anytime you see this guy right here, moving his little thing, doing his thing, you guys better listen up, because at the end of the episode, I'm gonna have up to 5 questions for you guys to answer. Now, Weedle isn't gonna appear 5 times on the video. He may appear more than 5 times. So listen carefully, and the first 5 people to answer the question, either in the comment section of this video or in the forum post of this video, which is at PokÃฟ่/WeeklyWeedle, Weekly Weedle issue 10. That's right, I'm giving it to you. We'll win 10K per person. So if you want free money in game, make sure you answer those 5 questions. Stay through the whole episode. And who doesn't love a Dancing Weedle, you guys? Anybody will kill for a Dancing Weedle. That's right. Also, while you're there, why not make sure you check out the first ever forum minigame for the Weekly Weedle? That's right, you guys. We are evolving, adding fun for you guys. And thanks to Kyra, one of our reporters, she has a word search for you guys. That's right, if that's your thing, go check it out right after this video, of course, and do the word search. The theme for this word search is, of course, because we've been on it for lately, is teams, and you guys are gonna have to find Aqua, Magma, Flare, Rangers. But yeah, you guys, so make sure you see that after today's episode. But I've blabbered enough, you guys. Make sure that you look for this guy, and let's get right into the episode. Now, some of you have just joined the server. You guys probably joined either during the week, maybe like an hour before this was live, maybe yesterday. You know, heck, if you're watching this 2 days later after it was posted and you just joined today, like, you guys probably don't know what the Weekly Weedle is. So I'm going to give you a little heads up. The Weekly Weedle is a newsstand, or you could call this a newspaper, for the forum that we provide for you guys with some general news of the server, of the forums. We bring you interviews live. Believe it or not, we're now doing them live here on the forums, and we get you stories that, you know, keeps you interested. Hashtag go check out the Silphco stories that are going on right now. So yeah, buy yourself a copy. You could buy yourself a copy actually at Warp News, or just go to Warp Player Shop, and you guys are gonna see the Weekly Weedle sign. Just click on that, and you could buy yourself an issue. It's really just, you know, stories, server news, interviews, all for you guys in one book, or on the forums, if you guys enjoyed that. So yeah, that's what the Weekly Weedle is. We are always up, or not always up, we are always posting every Saturday. The books come out every Saturday. Forum posts come out Saturday. There isn't really a time period because, you know, coordinating. We have to have the videos done and all that. So it does go up some point on Saturday, usually Saturday night, if not possible, during the day. So yeah, that is the weekly Weedle. Before we get into the background of what goes on in the weekly Weedle, you guys have to know, at least find out how the weekly Weedle started. So he's right there. The weekly Weedle was actually started by Lord Moran, the admin of PokÃฟ่ in 2014. Now, here's the kicker, you guys. The weekly Weedle was never intended to be a server newspaper. Oh no, you guys. No. It was intended to be a newspaper for a town he was making. He had the town with some residents, and he actually started the weekly Weedle for his town. And back then, owner of the server, Danny Dorito, who still owns the server, is an admin of Xmas Gaming. She loved the idea of the newspaper stand, and at last decided, hey, why not have this go out for everybody, do interviews with the community. And at last, boom, the idea of something for his town ended up becoming the newspaper for the server. And that is how the weekly Weedle started, you guys. It started just an idea for residents of his town 3 years ago now. And now it is something that you guys enjoy, you guys are loving. And you guys, interesting fact, you guys, there is one issue that never went out to the actual community. It went out to the residents, and that is issue 0. It sounds pretty awesome, if you believe me, and so far is one of the top selling issues out there. The highest it's gone out to sell, at least this was back when the different economy times. You guys know when updates happen, economy changes as well. But back then it was up to 700,000 Pokecoins to purchase issue 0, not issue 1, issue 0, which was the town issue that never was meant for the server. So yeah, you guys, the more you know. Now you guys, here's some awesome things that you probably don't know. Since Weekly Weedle went live to the server, so far 70 issues have been handed out throughout its lifetime. Now, that might not sound a lot, but seeing that we've started almost 3 months ago, we've only done 9 issues. Well, this would be issue 10. So, weekly, in 3 years, we've done 70 issues. Now, Weekly Weedle has had times where we stopped because just people were busy, but to have 70 issues out, that is a large number. That is a really large number, you guys. And if you probably haven't been on the server that long, back in the day, the Weekly Weedle actually had, Employer of the Month, where if you were doing your job, or if you were doing a job for the server, you would be on the Employer of the Month on that issue. So yeah, you guys, to be honest, I never knew this. So it's just so interesting how the Weekly Weedle has changed throughout the years. We try to update every time for you guys to get you guys, the best quality or content out there. And finally, you guys, we always work hard to get you stories. We work hard to get you the info and the breaking news out for you guys. But sometimes you guys always have the most awesome ideas, the most awesome stories, and you guys tell us, and we love those stories. So as always, if you ever think, oh man, this story would be awesome to share, and you want to share, always just hit a Weekly Weedle staff, which you guys can see in the forums, but I'll name it out for you in case you don't know. We got Willow Song, we got Michaelis, we got Michael, well, I call him Michael, I'm sorry guys if I say your name wrong, and we have Yoi, we also have Spartan CT, Abolishment, myself. We have Kairos and Lord, and you guys are going to learn a little bit more about them and what they do, just a little bit. So remember, hit them up, especially Lord. Lord really loves to hear stories from you guys. and we could get you some behind, get your story onto the books, and people will learn or see your creative thoughts. And finally, guys, one quick note about the Weekly Weedle before we get to the background information of how it goes down. Weekly Weedle live interviews, before we actually decided to just go on, keep doing live interviews. Really, this idea, when we first started, came as trying to bring something more with the Weekly Weedle. Before, it was mainly forum posts and books in the actual in-game, and so we was like, we should try to bring more to the community, and we thought of late night, like a late night host talk show sort of theme. We wanted a live interview, we wanted mini games, we wanted, to make it fun for the actual viewers and for our guests. And if you guys haven't seen, we actually did a couple episodes, didn't run long because not many people at the time did not want to be seen on screen, which is understandable. I think our first person was Lord. We interviewed the guest, and then we actually did a mini game with them. Lord became king of the Weedles. We also had where we had a guest that had to give description of a legendary Pokemon, but it was Weedle at the end. So that is so much fun. So it's just, we tried to expand it. It didn't work out as we thought it would, and then we came back to just live interview. And guys have loved it since. We love doing it. But yeah, you guys, not many people knew, but when we first started doing this live, it was more like a talk show, have it like its separate entity. You'll have your interview and your book posted, the days posted, and then a separate, like a late show after, or like a talk show after, posted a different day, have it separate days. And in the end, we combine them to one. The forum post now has, the Pokemon battle. It has the video, like the actual live interview, and we have, if not a poem, or now we're gonna have games for you guys to show you how much we are changing throughout the years. Weekly Weedle always changes for you guys to make sure you guys are enjoying it, and that's what we love the most. But you guys, we have talked a lot about the history of Weekly Weedle, some interesting facts, but the main part of this video, you guys, is to get to the background, to how all of this is made, how we I believe it's about 7 people, how 7 people come together, and 7 or 8, I can't count, but how we come together and we make this happen for you guys. Because if you guys don't know, the actual server itself is an Eastern time zone server. Now, this is where it gets tricky with us, you guys, and I'm gonna show you the the format we have in staff. But basically, you guys, the hardest part with the Weekly Weedle, especially with these live interviews, basically, guys, we used to just interview and then post on the forum. And interview's easy. You could do it through direct messages on in-game Discord, the forums. It's simple. You don't have to be there live. You send the questions, they give it back to you, and we just write it down. And it's simple. But when we switch to live, it's gotten a little bit more complicated, because this is what I love the server the most about this server. It's why I stick with PokÄＦC, is we have many different areas and many different cultures, cities, countries, all in one server. So getting a live interview is very difficult, because we already have multiple time zones working for the Weekly Weedle. I mean, I'm Eastern, I have some Pacific, I have some Australian time zone, European time zone. So we have to communicate, and we have to also have to talk to the person we're going to interview because they might be available, but it's like 3 a.m. on our side, so it's a lot to look into to make just one video. And if you think about it, guys, we have 5 days to create one weekly Weedle interview, and you guys might think that's a lot of time, but we also have to make sure we get the books done, which you guys are going to learn how that happens today. We have to get the video editing done, which you guys are going to see. We have to get the actual interviewee, and we can't, like, we don't know their available times. Not everybody is free. We have to think of the mini games, the stories, and bring it all together on the Saturday. You guys, like I said, it's posted Saturday. Sundays, come on, everybody, you already know Sunday we just want to relax, so it leaves Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We usually don't like to work on a Friday. We don't like to work on a Friday because, yeah. But yeah, you guys, but it's a lot of hard work to bring it all at once, and I'm just so proud of our team. But basically, guys, this is how it goes down. Alright, you guys, so I'm about to show you a actual chart of how the weekly Weedle team is set up so that we could always bring you the best content and always have someone working on something so we can finish on time for you guys. So basically, guys, this chart here I'm going to show you, we're going to go in order, and then we're going to look back at what each person does and just let you know what we do to make sure that at the end everything comes together and it just makes an awesome weekly Weedle show or book for you guys. So basically, starting off at the top of the chart, as always, we have the leader or owner of the weekly Weedle, Lord Moreron. He is what you're going to hear later on what he does. After him, come down and you're going to look, we have the Chief Brews. I can never say, I don't know if I keep saying that wrong, keep saying it right, I don't know, you guys, but we have the Chief Brews here for you guys, and these chiefs are separated into three sections, or three regions, or however you want to say. They're in charge of 3 different parts of the weekly Weedle, and as the chart itself separated to 3 different roles, this role in particular separated to 3 different parts. So basically, you guys, the Chief Brews are separated to 3 different parts. We got the reporters that are in charge of the interview part, the process, and getting the videos out for you guys, and just coming up with stories, which anybody can do, but we are mainly in charge of getting the stories done, and that's run by me, myself, Wheelie. Then we have the forum department, and these people, this chief is actually in charge of getting the forums done for you guys, bringing you the videos or the interviews that we have done, getting you the battle guide, and putting it all together, making it look nice. And then we have the chief of the battle aspect of the weekly Weedle, which is getting you the best battle guides with their team. And then as you can see, that's owned by Abolishment. We also have the chief for the forums, which is Spartan. So once you get all the 3 together, you can see how the weekly Weedle is starting to form up, especially in the forums, where we do have the battle guide, we do have the interviews. So yeah, you guys, and then as you can see, the final role, it's the reporters, where those are also separated, you guys. The reporters, you got the standard reporters that are under me, and those are the ones that do the interviews. They are the ones that get the stories, the poems that you guys see. Under Spartan, you have Kairos, who gets the forum games done, because she can also do the book games, and live games for you guys. And then we also have Yor, or Camel Ammo, that does the battle guide. So we're gonna look into detail what all 3 roles do, and then what each section is. So yeah, you guys, let's get back and see what each one does. But just a little quick chart to show you what 3 roles are in weekly Weedle, and what each role does, and how they're separated, and then at the end come back together, just bring you an awesome weekly Weedle. Now, as you saw in that chart just a second ago, we have reporters, chief of burrows, or burrows, I can never say it, guys, I'm sorry. And then we have our owner. Now, the reporters are broken into, I'm gonna say 2 different categories. We do have 3 categories total that we run, each chief runs, but that will be more explained as we have the actual reporters who interview and do reports on server news for you guys, and that's Willow Song and Michael. They are always coordinating with each other to get that interview for you guys. They are responsible for getting interviews, and if they can't make it, I always fill in. That's my section, but they are the ones you see a lot, and you guys see the most in the Weekly Weedle when you see these videos, and they're the ones interviewing and setting up the interviews, trying to get it on time for you guys, knowing how busy their schedule are. They are also the ones with the poems, the ones that you see the stories in the books. They are always trying to come up with things for use. We also have, not many people know this, but we also have a team builder reporter, and all he does, and his name is Yoy. I hope I say your name right. Previously known as PokÄmô:AMO, and all he does is bring you the best Pokemon strategies. He brings you a team Pokemon or one Pokemon. It could be 3 Pokemon on, but he brings you a Pokemon and a strategy set that will help you bring into a team that's gonna help you win. It's really good, and he'll bring you the strategy, and he is responsible for coming up with that strategy every weekend. And now, like that, he doesn't have to worry about interviews. He doesn't have, so he can bring you the best strategy he can. And then, of course, we have our newest reporter, and that is Kairos, and she will be bringing you mini game ideas that you can play in the server, on the forums, and you guys are going to be seeing mini games in books, which is new. You guys always trying to invent something, and when we come to a team, the reporters come to a team, it brings up these great new articles and forum posts for you guys. And the reporters, I think out of everybody, reporters have the hardest part, because they have to keep coming up with something so they could bring the fun to you guys, and doing that on a limited time basis, not, well, as a volunteer, it is a task, but that's why we love our reporters very, very much. Reporters are out there thinking and trying to get y'all to come on the show. So always, if you see a reporter's Willow Song, Michael, Kairos, or Yoy /PokÄmô:AMO, always give them the big thank you. Show them the love, because they really do take a lot of time off of them to bring the content to you. The battle guide. You guys might think that that's just easy to come up with. You got 5 days to come up with battle guide, but battle guide, you got to think of how it's going to help if you split it in any team. Mini game ideas, you come up with these mini game ideas, but you also have to think of how it's going to work with the server. And then our reporters, it's one thing to go out and say, hey, you're available for an interview, but you guys think of the questions. You got to think of what the actual interview is going to be about. So they do a really, really good really good job of how everything is put together for you guys, and you guys, then all you see is just the actual end result, which comes out awesome. Now, our chief bureaus, we have, like I said earlier, we are broken into 3 categories for you guys. We have the actual reporters, which is in charge of the reporters, the actual getting news done, the actual interviews, and eventually, they also do with the editing of the videos, getting the videos done for you guys. And that person in charge is me. I am in charge of the reporters, the interviews, the getting those reporters a check, and making sure that the interviews are done on time, which is no later than Friday, and editing the videos. We also have the forum post chief, and he is responsible for making sure that the post is live on Saturday, and making sure that we have our stuff ready for him to have it on the forums by that Saturday. And then we have our battle guide chief, which is making sure that the battle guide is up and ready by that day. And you know, if coming up with themes to have for the battle guide. As for the 3 chiefs, we got me, who I just said is ahead of the interview department, the reporters department. We have Spartan CT, who is in charge of the forum posts, and then we have Abolishment, which is part of the actual battle guides for you guys. And all 3, even though they're separate, have to really become one so we can always get on time. Now I'm going to show you guys. I can't show you too much of the other 2 as I'm not into that section. All in the end, battle guide, you know, they talk to them each other to make sure that they have a theme for that the section. And then the forum post, I used to do the forum post for the talk show, Weekly Weedle talk show. So that right there in itself is a lot of work, because you want to make sure that the forum looks great. If you don't have a good looking forum and it looks bland, and you just have left or right directional letters going that way, it's not popping out, and then you just have the video, it's not going to look good and you don't want to read it. So Spartan does a very good job of putting it in order, having it nice and neat for you guys to read, get to the point that you want to get to, video, and then now our new mini game. So Spartan does a really good job of that, really saying, hey, is that video ready? Hey, is that interview ready? Hey, is that mini game ready? And he puts it in there, puts it in order for you guys. You guys don't get to see, I don't actually have a perfect example of him actually doing it, but you guys don't see how it gets a little bit complicated. You have to know the actual forums, how to work each command, each little individual how do you say, like, commands to actually put in the center and all that. So he does a really good job. And then my end, not only do I have to make sure that the reporters are doing the reports and interviews and making sure that they have something, or at least if they don't have something, I got to come up with something, make sure we have something for that week. I also do the editing, you guys. Now I'm going to show you a little, show you how the editing process works. It's quite, let's just say that I always want my reporters done by Thursday, because I like to take Fridays to edit it. I always put a lot of effort into my editing. I am not a good editor, you guys. I am terrible editing, you guys are about to see here. But my editing is pretty bad. Alright, you guys, so as I said, I do all the editing for each Weekly Weedle interview. This is the latest one, which was the PokÃฟ่ Rangers interview that you guys saw last week. And you don't have to worry about what everything is. I just wanted to show you like what goes down when making the actual video. This is actually condensed, smaller, so you guys can see everything that goes down, all the little breaks. I take a good 3 to 4 hours into editing a video. Not all the time do I take this long, for the 4-hour mark at least, but I want to make it look as clean and as good as possible for you guys. Luckily, this actual editing software that I use allows me to actually also do some of the audio. So we have audio, we have video, and then it just making it so you can see, breaking it up so that if there are parts that we don't want you to see, we could cut it out and just make it look as good as possible for you guys. So just a little background to see how everything goes. And like I said, don't worry that you don't know what is going on here. I just wanted to show you what the actual process and to make sure that the video is out there. And it takes, once the video is done, once I'm done editing, There is always the rendering part to make sure that the video is in perfect quality for you guys. I'm not the best editor, but I do you know, try my best, and it always comes out pretty good. So yeah, you guys, that's the editing part. We're gonna move on, and then finally, you guys, as you guys already know, we have the owner of the Weekly Weedle, Lord Moreron. And you guys might think, well, he just makes sure that everything is set. But it's not like that, you guys. Lord actually does have a lot of hands-on things to do, you guys. He basically is the person that stocks up the Weekly Weedle books for you guys, and he makes the books, and he really has to make sure that everything that you just heard is done by a specific time. That he has it for the books ready to go at a certain time, you guys. This is where everything has to be done at a certain time period. Even though it might seem a lot of time, it isn't. Trust me, you guys, it isn't. He has to make sure the doc is ready. We use docs. We would put our stories. Those stories have to be there by that time, because he'll basically copy and paste that to a book in Minecraft. And it might seem simple, you guys, but note that sometimes copy and pasting from a document to a Minecraft book doesn't always have the formatting brung with it. So as you guys know, the Minecraft books can only hold a certain amount of characters in that specific page, and when you format it and bring it across, sometimes the formatting and the characters, it's a little bit scrambled, so he has to fix it to make sure what you're reading looks good and goes with what the story is about, you guys. And of course, because the books are limited, has to working around to make sure that he fits everything on that book. You guys know we only get 50 pages to a book in Minecraft, and you know, with the limited space, it could be 2 paragraphs, which is nothing to a regular document, but in our last issue it was 16 pages. So he really has to make sure that everything fits, so you guys get everything you need to know, and just get it to there and get it to you guys on a specific time. And this process, you guys, of just you know, reading the document, getting that format to where it's gonna work in a Minecraft book, takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and he does it very well. After, of course, the legend hunt, so he's already, you know, adminning, you know, being the admin of a server, getting you guys legend hunts, and then after all that has to go and, you know, spend some time making the books to have it out for you guys on time. It's a lot of work. I really praise Lord for doing all that. That is incredible. But yeah, you guys, we wanted to make this video to show, you know, that it is, you know, basic, and you guys probably knew or probably didn't, and you probably didn't even know that, you know, you guys only see Michael Spartan. You guys know Lord owned the Weekly Weedle, but there are a lot more people in the background that you don't see that actually, you know, put into the Weekly Weedle to bring it all at once, bring it all together, and then just have you guys, and you guys have seemed to enjoy it, and we appreciate how much you guys are enjoying it, and how each time we sell it, they go quickly. So yeah, you guys, as always, and as always, we always like to take your input. What you guys like to see, we would always try to put it in. The Weekly Weedle is very flexible. It's always changing to bring you the best content out there. As always, bring you server news. So that is so much awesome. That's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys enjoy. Now, hopefully you guys have been paying attention where that sneaky dancing Weedle is, you guys. Sneaky dancing Weedle. I'm gonna ask you these 5 questions. Now remember, Weedle could have you know, came 5 times. He could have shown up 5 times, he could have shown up 3 times, he could have shown up 7 times. Hopefully you watched through the whole video, If you did, you're a trooper. Thank you for watching the Weekly Weedle, and you paid attention. So remember, the first 5 to get these 5 questions get 10K in-game. And if you're watching this and you haven't been on PokемC, we are on version 5.0.3 Pixelmon. Make sure that you have the appropriate forge for that as well. And we are on latest.pokemc.com. That's our server IP. And come join us. But it is time for those 5 questions. Did you pay attention enough to get these answers right? Alright, you guys, so here's our 5 questions for today's video. Make sure to answer them either in the description of this video or in the forum post on PokemC of where this video is linked. So yes, question number 1. When was the Weekly Weedle invented, and who was the one that gave the idea to bring it to the community and make it PokemC wide instead of where it was originally? So remember, you guys, question 1, when was it invented, and who was the one that thought it was a good idea to bring it to everybody in PokemC? Question 2 is, how many divisions are in the Weekly Weedle? The Chiefs are divided to 3 different sections in the Weekly Weedle. What are those 3 sections or the 3 divisions? So remember, what are those 3 divisions in the Weekly Weedle staff? They're broken into 3 different sections. Question 3 is, how many hours do I spend editing a Weekly Weedle video? So remember, question 3 is, how many hours do I spend editing a Weekly Weedle video? Question 4, how many pages was the latest issue of the Weekly Weedle? How many pages was the latest issue of the Weekly Weedle? Not this issue, it's a prior issue. How many pages was that issue of the Weekly Weedle? And then our final question, 5th question numero 5. Now this question, you guys, is a little bit easy, I think. You gotta think of what we're talking here, you guys. Throughout the whole video, you'll understand once you hear the question. But question number 5 is, what is the best Pokemon? What is the best Pokemon? So answer those 5 questions, guys, and remember, first 5 gets 10K. Thank you for watching. I know this is a rather long episode. It's a lot of detail to put in, but yeah, you guys, as always, we're gonna catch you next week on a new Weekly Weedle interview. This is Willie and the Weekly Weedle team, and thank you. Bye bye.